I would hesitate to describe our current situation yet as a crisis. I mean, there was a crisis in 2020 during the COVID shock, and that was the most savage, most rapid, most fast-moving, most dramatic, most comprehensive economic shock the world has ever seen, full stop, bar none. And then what we engineered quite deliberately was the most rapid recovery from such a crisis. So the 2020 collapse is fastest we've ever seen, huge unemployment in China and India, 20% fall in global GDP in a matter of weeks, unheard of. Then the most rapid growth in 50 years at the global level, as recorded by the World Bank in 2021. Right, the most rapid growth across the entire world economy, over 6% across the whole world economy. And what we're now seeing is not a crisis, but the most rapid slowdown in growth that we've seen in 80 years. So that takes you back to the late 1930s, sudden slowdown after the initial recovery from the Great
Depression. I should
Depression.
say, Adam, thanks for correcting me there, because I'm perhaps channeling sort of populist sentiment about dissatisfaction about inflation, but you're right, that is not a crisis.
It's not a crisis. We have in America right now has full employment by any conventional standard. And nevertheless, and you're absolutely right, if you do opinion polls of the American public right now, especially if you take those predisposed to be hostile to the Biden administration, they're all convinced that America's in a recession, which is an extraordinary fact in its own right. And even a very considerable fraction of people who identify as Democrats are sitting on the fence and think maybe America's in a recession, which is counterfactual. I mean, it's a remarkable claim. America may slide into a recession. We could conceivably get a technical one because we had a very weird first quarter in 2022 because of some trade data. So that made growth negative. If we got one further quarter of negative growth in the coming quarter, all of a sudden you'd have a technical recession. But it wouldn't be what we mean.